You know the fighters, but you don't know their stories. Welcome to Massive, the place where legends rise, fall, and their stories never fade. Today, we're not just telling a fight story. We're telling the fight story. The moment when the untouchable became human, when time stood still, jaws dropped, and the world realized even gods can bleed. Anderson Silva wasn't just a champion. He was a myth, a dance of destruction, a man who made the cage look like a playground. But on July 6, 2013, everything changed. Chris Weidman didn't just win that night. He broke an illusion. This is the rise of the spider, the fall, the legacy, the what if that still echoes through every octagon. Chapter 1, Anderson Silva, the perfect storm. Before Conor, before Khabib, before John Jones ruled the cage, there was Anderson Silva, a fighter so precise, so calm, so freakishly aware that opponents didn't just lose. They froze, then fell. Anderson Silva came to UFC in 2006 like a ghost slipping through walls. In his debut, he dismantled Chris Laban in under a minute. Then, in just his second UFC bout, he destroyed Rich Franklin to become the middleweight champion. It wasn't just a win, it was a masterclass. Knees, clinch, carnage. He defended his belt again, and again, and again. 10 title defenses, a 16-fight win streak. Fighters like Dan Henderson, Chael Sonnen, Vitor Belfort, legends in their own right, couldn't touch him. Why? Because Silva didn't just fight. He flowed. He painted violence like an artist, turning combat into ballet. Hands down, chin out, dodging punches like he could see the future. The Matrix? Anderson Silva lived it. He wasn't just a champion. He was a showman, a performer whose arena was soaked in awe and fear. Silva's aura wasn't built only on wins. It was built on how he won. He made elite fighters look amateur. He made chaos look choreographed. And most of all, he made people believe that greatness could be beautiful. Chapter 2, The Invincibility Illusion. There was something different about watching Anderson. He toyed with Forrest Griffin like it was a sparring session. He front-kicked Vitor into the Shadow Realm. He let Chael Sonnen beat him for 4 rounds and still found a way to win in the 5th. It didn't feel like watching a man. It felt like witnessing something otherworldly. But behind the brilliance, something else was brewing. A belief, not just in the fans, but in Silva himself, that he couldn't lose, that he wouldn't lose. And when a fighter believes they're untouchable, the most dangerous opponent is one who doesn't believe the myth. Enter Chris Weidman, a man with zero fear and zero interest in the hype. Chapter 3, The Underdog with No Fear. Chris Weidman was 9-0, a solid wrestler, a blue-collar mindset, not flashy, not loud, just grit and grind. Nobody really gave him a chance. But Weidman had 2 weapons most Silva opponents lacked: belief and a game plan. He trained for Silva's movement. He studied his patterns. And he refused to be hypnotized by the legend standing across from him. He had Ray Longo in his corner. He had Matt Serra behind him. He had a hunger that only comes when everyone counts you out. He didn't come to admire greatness. Preparation and composure could break even the most magical run. July 6, 2013. UFC 162. Las Vegas. Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman. Chapter 4. The dance turns dangerous. Round 1. Weidman comes out strong. Takedown. Control. GNP. Round 2. Silva starts dancing. Hands down. Chin out. Taunting. Smiling. He slips punches like he's teasing gravity. The crowd is roaring. The commentators are in disbelief. Silva is putting on a show, but this wasn't like before. Something felt too relaxed, too confident, until, boom, left hook, clean, flush, timed. Silva's lights go out before he hits the canvas. The unthinkable just happened. Joe Rogan screams, "He's out cold." He's out cold. And just like that, the myth dies. The world gasps. The spider falls. A king dethroned in seconds. Weidman didn't just land a punch. He shattered an illusion that had wrapped around Silva like armor. In one moment, the impossible became real. Chapter 5, The Fall Part 2. People said it was a fluke. He was clowning. He got caught. He'll win the rematch. 6 months later, UFC 168. Silva versus Weidman 2. Anderson looks serious. Focused. A different energy. Round 1. Weidman lands big shots. Nearly finishes it again. Round 2. Silva throws a hard leg kick. Weidman checks it. Crack. Silva's leg shatters on impact. A sound so unnatural it echoes through the arena. He collapses, screaming. The arena goes silent. This wasn't just defeat. It was devastation. It was surreal. Fans held their heads. Broadcasters were speechless. Time stopped. A legendary career, derailed by a single checked kick. The MMA gods, it seemed, were done watching Silva's reign. Chapter 6, Legacy Rewritten. Anderson never truly returned to form. He fought again. He won some, lost more, but the aura was gone. The fear was gone. Weidman went on a run, but eventually fell too. Injuries, losses, and in a tragic twist of fate, years later, Weidman would suffer the same exact leg break Silva did. A cruel MMA circle. But what if Silva had won that first fight? What if he never taunted, never dropped? His hands? Could he have gone 20 title defenses? Could he have closed out undefeated? Would we be calling him the GOAT? No debates? Did he fall because of arrogance? Or because he was simply human? After all, the debate continues today. Forums, podcasts, barbershops, everywhere MMA lives. So, does the question of Silva's fall? Chapter 7, Gods bleed, but legends live. What made Anderson Silva great wasn't perfection. It was poetry and chaos. He didn't just fight opponents. He made you question what fighting even looked like. And when he fell, it reminded the world that even the untouchable can be touched. But his legacy? Eternal. No one moved like Anderson. No one was Anderson. Chris Weidman will forever be the man who ended the streak. But Anderson Silva will forever be the reason we believed a man could become myth. He was art in motion. And even broken, art doesn't lose value. It gains meaning. To this day, highlight reels and documentaries circle back to that moment. Not just the knockout, not just the injury, but what Anderson Silva meant to MMA, what he still means. Chapter 8, Massive Legacy. This story isn't just about a knockout. It's about how quickly the world can change. How 1 second can rewrite years of dominance. How legacy isn't about the fall. It's about what came before. At Massive, we keep those moments alive. The ones that shook us, broke us, inspired us. The ones that remind us why we watch. Because in this sport, moments become myth, and myth becomes memory. Who do you think is the real GOAT? Would Silva have ruled longer if he played it safe? Or was his downfall the price of being extraordinary? If you felt that fight, drop a like. If you want more, hit subscribe. This is Massive, and we're just getting started. What do you think about this?